Just wanted to point out the information we provide today is of a general advice. If you do want some more information, please seek some professional advice.
Welcome to the Retirement Living Podcast Your Way, where we have real conversations with Troy Theobald from RFS Advice and Colin Bolesky from 4CRB, and my name's Greg Black, and I have the pleasure of working with Troy and the team every single day of the week. So welcome, Troy.
Oh, how lucky are you, Greg?
Whew, I tell you, living the dream.
Punch in the air.
Not at all. No, it's fantastic. Now, I must say, Colin's going to be joining us shortly. He's just been held up. But I thought today, Troy, just continuing on from our retirement toolkit that we've created in the business, let's have a look at one of those things that really, to me, is, I guess, one of the most powerful ingredients with living a happy and successful retirement. And that really is all around your social life and sense of purpose. Would that be fair? Have this sort of conversation?
There's no point having lots of money and lots of income coming in and not being happy.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when you think about it, or people think that to have the best retirement, you've got to have the most money. And that's so not the case in our business. Yep. Those that are actually living their best lives are usually, some of them are actually the ones that may not have accumulated their level of wealth, but they've got the basics right.
Oh, they're feeling fulfilled, and that's the key. They've found something, that purpose, something they really like to do. And, some of them might have, had this grand plan and it came off. That's very few. Others have tried, many things, happy to fail, prepared to try, and then actually work out, no, I really do enjoy that.
Yeah. Now, and look, and I think what would be really good to cover today is, I guess, how do we try and create that sort of, that rich social life in retirement, one that gives you energy, connection and meaning. And I guess when we looked at crafting the retirement toolkit, it wasn't just, I guess, your ideas and the business's ideas. We also went to our clients and said, what is it about retirement? And you'll recall the survey we did with a number of clients not that long ago, where we actually went out and we said, what advice would you provide someone that is actually considering retirement? Because we thought there's a lot of sort of gems in that those sorts of responses. And one of the things that came back, and it came back in multiple sources, was this whole sort of side. Yes, there's the retirement planning, but it's also looking at it from the non-financial perspective. So it's all about, but from life's perspectives, how are you going to fill your days? What's your purpose going to be? And remember, you're active before your retirement. You've got to remain active post-retirement. So do you sort of see that, obviously, when you're talking to clients that may be coming to you for the first time and they're thinking about stopping, what are the sort of, what sort of things do you find that they need to understand about that retirement? Because they've been working 9 to 5. They've been going really hard, and all of a sudden they're talking about, well, when I stop, what's going to happen? And
the big thing I think that shocks a lot of them is in your working life, because you're so scheduled, as I'm hyper-scheduled, you're forced into interactions, you're forced into connections, because it just happens organically off the back of many meetings, people you meet. In our world, could be clients. Clients refer those, they refer others. You end up helping with clubs, associations, volunteering. It sort of naturally finds its way for people that are that way inclined. Once those connections or work connections stop, you don't have that natural ability to do that. So we've got to manufacture that, and you've got to realise this could be something that's real, it's going to happen, and it'll just make it less daunting when you do. And there's, it's a simple little checklist that we've got online there, just ideas, and it, could be rekindling some friendships off people that have drifted, because when you, in your working life, you're running kids, you're doing all that, you're busy all the time. Now you've got time. The other people may have time as well. Or what some people find is if they retire a bit earlier than their work colleagues, they've retired and gone, hang on, who have I got to do with this?
Where are my mates?
Correct. They're all at work. So I've got to find something around that. And it's working out, well, what do I like doing, and where can I reach out, or where could I find potential connections? And, some people join clubs and different things. And, we look even here at 4CRB, we're recording today, massive number of volunteers. They come in, they're smiling, they're happy, they're interacting. They're not paid, they're not forced to come in. It's something they enjoy doing and interacting. And there's that sort of common camaraderie that builds up. And there's lots of volunteering out there that really helps with that. It could be at hospitals. Lots of our clients are volunteering to drive people around. They might have had a health issue and all sorts of things. They're able to drive and help. It's something that's not taxing on them. They get a real sense of purpose and joy out of that. Others, it could be just around their hobbies or their passions. And, people go, I play golf. Well, I think I played a couple of times last week and I'm already creaky and sore. So I'm not sure having that as something every day a week is going to be a reality. Pickleball. Oh my goodness.
That's
the
everywhere.
revelation.
That is everywhere.
It is everywhere. The people that are into it are absolutely into it. They're playing all over the coast. They're just loving it. Now, 10 years ago, no one mentioned pickleball.
No.
So it's just being open to those ideas.
But sorry, it'd be also about creating a new routine, though, wouldn't it? Because if you think about it, people they've worked for so long, they've got their routine, they've got their Monday to Friday, and then all of a sudden when they stop, it's how do we create a new routine? How do we fill the days? And so do you find that it helps clients when they map out what they want to do in a day and in a week? So they've got something to look forward to. They know what they're going to be doing on Thursday next week, as opposed to, well, every day just feels like the same.
And that's what it is. It's no longer weekends, it's just days.
Yeah.
And that might scare some people. So it's to that point, it's scheduling a social time, because lots of people are good at scheduling business meetings. So it might be, on Wednesday, I'm going to coffee with someone.
Yes.
And maybe it's, I'm going to try to go with someone different each week. There could be some simple little challenge you set yourself. No one else is keeping score, only you. But over time, you'll find a natural place of getting to where, Tuesday, actually, you know what? I took up bowls. I really love it. I'm going to do that on a Tuesday. I still like my golf. I've got other clients will do that.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a Thursday. All right, well, Wednesday could be the shopping day, but I'm not going to rush out at 7 a.m. and have it done by 8 and sit there the rest of the day. I'm actually going to, have it as an outing, and I might choose to meet someone there at that time. And, I saw this great little one at Kew Shopping Centre there. There's this little seat that says, I'd love to have a chat.
Yep.
What a wonderful way to just sit on the little chair there, which I
Yes.
found myself sitting on. When all these lovely people are talking to me. I
See,
looked
everyone's
over and
friendly.
went,
Everyone's friendly.
me being me, went, I'll keep sitting here. This is entertaining. I meet all these lovely people. But it just was a way of making that so it's not so confronting.
Yes.
Colin and I, we just got off air, and these messages coming up on the texting system there for people that mightn't feel as I don't want to talk to 85,000 people live on there, but I'd love to send a message and
Yes.
interact. Now, it's
Yes.
just finding that ability to interact
Yes.
on there, but do urge people to take that bold step of that personal interaction, though.
But everyone's in the same boat, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like people, reaching out to people that you may not have connected with for a while, friends that you may have drifted apart business-wise, you've been too busy. I think this is the time where you've actually, because you've got time on your hands,
Correct.
it's actually thinking about that and not sort of being too shy to say, look, I haven't spoken for a while, they won't want to hear from me.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably sitting in the same camp saying, well, actually, I haven't got people to talk to. So it's having that connection.
And it is. And those hobbies and things, they don't come about by accident. Now, I did mention on air a little while ago, I'd love to learn how to make a better coffee, of which I turned up back to the office and Greg was listening and went, gotcha, now we have a lesson, which I still failed dismally. So that's on my work process. But even here this morning with the station, I went outside. Now they're growing pumpkins. And I went, you know what? I had this little bubble years ago. My grandfather used to try to grow the biggest pumpkin in Wangara at a show. Never won it, but I'm like, I've always wanted to grow a giant pumpkin. That'll stay on my list because I don't have enough backyard to grow a giant pumpkin. But it's funny how just interacting on something totally unrelated, something else pops in and go, hang on, that's something it just sparks another memory, another thought.
Yes.
Something you like to try and do. And then, it's making some of those a priority.
So sitting down with a client when they're coming in to sit down with you and to discuss they're either they're about to go into retirement or they're in retirement and they're not. It's not really where it's at for them. How much time do you spend having these? Because these are really non-financial conversations.
Oh, absolutely.
Like this is because most people think it's all about the money. It's so not. Yes, it is, but it's not. How much time are you spending, and how deep do you go with clients? Because you start getting into more personal sort of areas.
And it does. So, look, personally, it's probably 70 or 80% of our time because after doing it for a very, very long period of time, I can explain exactly how we manage money in about a 10-minute period, our rules, what we do, there's the return, there's the outcome, there's the fees, charges, services.
Yes.
Is it for you? And we can make that a very simple scenario for people to make a decision and move on. This part is really hard. To that point, how deep do you go with some and others? Some are very superficial. So there's some clients never going to have this chat, but knowing it's there because it could be a time or a period where it's going to happen. I can picture one client who, would never have been in this style, just tough business person, did all that. Their partner had to go into care permanently. Their next review was just, you know what, I'm just going to go out and see him and have a cuppa, and sat there for an hour and a half just having a chat. And, I'd like to open this now.
Yep.
So, because for them, if you've been in a relationship where husband and wife and that have been doing it, everything together, or someone, has a spouse or that can no longer do that, that can be really hard.
Yes.
So they've had all this sorted out. They've got the volunteering, got everything under control. Life's thrown the curveball. Oh, hang on. It's time for that reset. And it's almost like starting again. And it can be even more daunting. I know some of our clients who, and Greg would attest to that as well, have come to even some of the functions. And you see in particular, I'll say ladies, because they outlive us, and you see them sitting there on their own. Yeah. And we're relevant of it, make sure we go over and chat and introduce them. But you can just see how hard it is for them sitting there compared to people walking in and talking couples.
Yes.
And these are people that would have been there in the couples chat, but now don't feel they can enter that. It really has knocked their confidence around. So that's something that, nobody knows when that's going to pop up. But those that have been really game to jump out for that purpose, some of those are popping out there into, one in particular, I think, and she set up, it's a dinner group.
Right.
And it's designed exactly for that, for people that just need that. Come out, no judgment. Singles,
how good's
pop
that?
Out, couples, we don't care, but it's probably mostly towards singles because we want people to come out and have something to look forward to. It could be once a month.
Yep.
Doesn't need to be every week. Rotary and those sorts of things work out there. There's lots of different groups where you can get out and do that scenario, and it just allows you, almost when you get to that point, I feel obliged. Okay, I'll go because come. It's Wednesday. It's Tuesday night. It's going to be cold tomorrow. Rain. Mightn't go. Yep. You've got to get through that, and pushing through that's not easy, and that could be constant. But it's just recognising it's there, and that's something you've got to get through.
What about one thing you haven't touched on, which I think a lot of people think would happen in real life, and that is around the babysitting, the looking after the kids, because my children are a bit old now, but you go back sort of 10 or 15 years ago, it would have been very easy if parents and in-laws and that were retired. Rather than go to daycare, we could put the children to that. But you haven't even touched on that, because I know you're not a big fan of that as far as nearly a non-paid job per se.
Yeah, look, it can work really well, but we just see lots of people as well that they feel so obliged they don't have that trip. They don't. Yeah. They just simply filled it with that, and that filled their time. Yep. Which, if you've got time, it's wonderful, and look, it's probably given them great joy, but that shouldn't be the only scenario. Yes. Because, I do see lots of retirements that I know there's lots of other dreams we've spoken about. We can't go away. Why is that? Because every Tuesday and Thursday we mind the kids. What are they going to do? Yeah. Well, guess what? You found a way.
Yes.
With your kids. Yep. They'll find a way.
Yes.
And it's sometimes, getting people to just recognise that as well. Yeah. But, if they can do it and love it, wonderful. But, not at the cost of everything else.
Locking. Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, no, that's certainly fair. Now, what about technology in the elderly, or those that have may not have gone through the whole technology side? And obviously it's a great way to connect. Are you finding
you've
more?
Got to love technology.
Because I know you're all over it, Troy. So
and Greg's laughing because I solved Mum and Dad's printer issue at the weekend.
That's right.
After 3 attempts, couldn't get the damn Wi-Fi to work and connect. Even brought my daughter down to try, and in the end I went to the lovely shop, bought a cord, plugged it in there, plugged in the printer, hit print, and it works. So I'm a technological
you're a genius.
I just need stuff to work. But it's not being scared to do that, because at the end of the day, look, technology is changing so fast, but it can be an awesome enabler. Like we have WhatsApp there as a family, interact, you can put up photos, stay connected. I've seen lovely scenarios there where you've got those the electronic photo albums.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that can be sitting in someone's house.
Yes.
And if you're connected via a family group, you can just upload photos, boom, they suddenly appear. Now, what a lovely scenario if the grandparents are sitting there. Here's pictures of the kids pop up. Here's them out and about doing things.
Absolutely.
Technology can be a real enabler to do that, and it's just not being scared of of it. I mean, the WhatsApp out there is very good for people to stay connected. Why? Because you can press the little button, FaceTime. It's not scary. You can chat to anyone. One of my mates from school, he's in Vermont. He can go fishing on a lake in Vermont for bass, and I can sit there at night fishing with him in his canoe.
Choosing which lures he uses.
Absolutely. I've got to entertain. We've got little rules. I get to pick the different lures and the like there. So, but that connection is the key, and that's just where technology, 10 years ago, these things couldn't do it. Now it's such an enabler. It's just being open to that connection compared to, being scared. Oh, it's not for me. I can't work it. Worst case, turn the off button. Fixed. Solves so many problems.
Yeah.
Sometimes you turn on and it works next time because you've solved the problem.
And I can confirm that Troy does not look after the technology at RFS Advice.
I do not look after IT anywhere. If I'm looking after it, there's a major problem.
Exactly. So I guess some of the top tips, and we've obviously got a lot of this information in the retirement toolkit, just a lot more detail there. I think some of the things that we've really identified that really do lead to a much happier, more fulfilling retirement with a bit more purpose is, I guess, really scheduling that social time activity and doing that weekly, as you mentioned, making sure you've got things locked in. Yeah, that's probably the key.
And that's going to start to set a framework, because I think once people get used to that, they don't then have to go, I need to, who am I playing golf with Thursday? I'm going to play with someone different.
Yes.
Or it could be I'm going to go to coffee, or I'm going to try a different shopping centre, or it could be the same person. Let's go to a different place. Let's not have Groundhog Day. Let's try something a little different out there. And I think once you get into that routine, it becomes easy. You don't need quite as regimented approach to it, because then you almost feel into that becomes the norm.
Yeah, and I think that sort of leads to the second tip that I think is worth pointing out is, just saying yes to invitations.
Correct.
Being open.
Yeah.
And that could be something that you're not used to as an individual, but being open gives you an opportunity to sort of put yourself out there, make new friends, new experiences, and it just, again, helps create more purpose.
Well, and that's post-COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, people used to go to other people's houses for dinner parties and barbecues and all those things, and we do notice that's really stopped. People are now, we'll meet them at a coffee, we'll meet them at a restaurant. People aren't welcoming each other into each other's space as much as they used to pre that, and that's really been a phenomenon. I don't know why, but we've definitely noticed that when you're talking to people, what are they up to, what are they doing, what's top of mind, what have they been out doing. It's always I went here, I went to. It wasn't we had 10 people over and we had a dinner party and we had a dress up or we did something, and you think back 10 years ago and people used to do that. And that's all sort of stopped.
Yep, no, absolutely. And that third top tip would be around, I guess, that IT, staying connected, using technology.
Yeah.
Zoom calls, Facebook, all those sorts of the shared photo albums that you spoke about. They're things that just, again, stays relevant.
And it's interacting. It's pressing that little button that shows your face. That's that human interaction. It's easy to leave it turned off. I didn't do the makeup, or I haven't done this. I'm referring to Greg here.
I didn't do my hair.
Yeah. Or, it's a mess in the background. You can fix the wallpapers and those.
Yes.
It's just, we'll have clients where we'll do Teams meetings. If we can see them and show them and share, it's such a different experience than someone with a camera off sitting there. It's just not that same interaction. So if you really want to embrace it, you use those features, press the button. If it doesn't work, it's probably a simple fix somewhere. Find someone under the age of 25 and they'll come fix it for you.
Yeah. No, exactly. And the fourth tip would be really volunteer for something that's meaningful. And it's a shame Colin couldn't be here today, because obviously 4CRB is a fantastic, one of the leading community radio stations run by volunteers. And you can just feel the energy when you come in here, as you mentioned earlier. It's fantastic, and I think obviously people have got a passion for, whether that's for people, whether that's for the radio, whether it's for music, whether it's the talkback. Yeah. I think it's finding something that you've got passion for, and it doesn't mean it's a lot of time. It might be 1 to 2 hours per week.
Oh, there's all sorts of things. Like we're at Burleigh Golf Course there. You see they have committee members who volunteer to be on committees. Why? Because they love their club. And there's all sorts of sporting institutions as well that have clubs out there as well. And we sit on and help a number of those manage their finances. And they're nearly all volunteers. And they're doing it after hours in their own time because they're passionate about something.
Absolutely.
And that's really where you want to get to, is when you feel passionate about something, that's when you really get that reward yourself.
And like from personal perspective, being a mad sailor, I know that when I wind back and stop in, the years and years ahead, there's the sailing for the disabled.
Yes.
And that's something that there's multiple yacht clubs. They do it at Runaway Bay, at Southport. They do it up in Brisbane, where they bring people with disabilities, and they need volunteers to take these people out on a boat. Like, that to me ticks all my boxes.
Yeah.
So again, that's something that certainly drives me, and I think that's so again, it doesn't have to. It can be outside the box. It can be a little bit different.
Yeah.
As well.
And that I love one from Keith Abraham. We use a lot of his stuff there, and he's got one of his sayings there that nothing truly great happens until someone becomes passionate about something.
Yeah.
And you don't get out of bed and go, I'm passionate about that. And you can just see Greg lighting up with sailing. Yeah. I think it's cold and windy and I'm going to get wet. And not that excited. But if we get to a golf course, the opposite happens. Right. I'm excited. I thought, what's the wind doing today? Check the app, check that.
Yes.
Or which ball will I use? Like, to me, I just naturally can feel myself excited at the thought of going to do that. So it's finding something that's your passion that works for you.
But even if I look at somebody like yourself with your qualifications, your experience, your skill, you could volunteer nearly anywhere because you think you've got the intellect to add some wisdom and some guidance at a business level, at a financial level, but also you've got the sporting as well. So it's quite interesting. I think, we can really be quite broad with our thinking because there are lots of community groups out there needing people to actually help with the direction of the various group.
And it comes back to that, how much time you have. Yeah. So do you have enough to be on the ground, I'm going to do the grunt work, can I actually help facilitate and direct? We look at our association for CRB. Well, how do we reach out to the community there? Well, okay, we'll do the monthly show. Colin reached out and went, can you do a weekly update? Okay, it's more time. Yeah, we can do that. Why, that's going to help. And then can we have specific topics that those that want to attend can come along as well? So it's how you can engage with that. From that perspective, we've had it through the school community as well, out there helping and volunteering there, and you just meet lots of like-minded people. I'm president of a dad's group there. Just you meet other dads.
Yep.
They're going through a similar thing. It's just that shared experience, people helping each other through.
There's no agenda, it's just meeting people.
And it's like anything. There's going to be, there's those you're going to spend more time with, those you may not want to spend as much time with, but that's all part of human interaction.
Yep. Very true. And I guess the last tip that we sort of came up with in the book was really try something new every few months. And I think that's really comes back to that open-mindedness, isn't it?
Oh, and it is. And there's another one we've got there around a pet as a companion.
Yeah, I was going to go there, and I'm
going to open that. So if you walk in my door as a retirement specialist and you've got the caravan and everything planned, please don't walk in and go, look at this new puppy. Okay, because puppies are really excited and they're going to give lots of time and energy, but they're really hard when you're travelling around Australia.
But surely the kids would look after them.
Oh, the kids probably more likely to give you their pet when they go away.
That's right.
So you'll end up with two. But and it's just exactly those scenarios that if people are wanting to travel and do everything, it's creating that environment around you to allow you to live that best life no matter what it is. And other people don't want to travel, don't want to do that. The pet's a fantastic companion at home and works really well. But, depending on what it is your schedule looks like or what your little bubble up above your head looks like, depends on how you want to structure.
Yeah, no, that's very fair. So one of the I mentioned at the start, we had the survey that we did, which was really quite insightful, and this just really wraps up in some regards to me because it's sort of, when you're looking at retirement, seek out as much information that you can find about superannuation and retirement plans and goes with what suits you. And that's obviously what we do day in, day out. And that's the obvious. But then they go on to say, have a circle of friends, hobbies plus interests prior to retirement, and don't rely on your work as your main interest in life. And I think that's probably one of the key.
No, that's great.
Would that be a fair point?
Yeah, no, I like that one. Maybe I should take more of that on board.
Yeah. So look, anything else you want to cover off? I think we've sort of covered a few action items, a few tips there. Anything you sort of want?
No, I think that summarises, and that, those words Greg said, they're from clients where we actually ask them. They're the retirees. They've lived through it. They've gone through it. Probably other thing is just some car clubs and things as well is something we didn't mention there.
Yeah, true.
That, personally through my parents, they've always loved that scenario and people with shared shared interest in cars and different things. That certainly something throughout retirement we've seen lots of our clients embrace and get involved with. Others have joined runners clubs,
Yes.
walkers clubs. The pickleball's part of that. So there's any number. It doesn't matter what the pursuit is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the connection that you gain from that shared scenario, and people that are just open to being out and about and exploring new things.
No, fantastic. Well, look, if you'd like any further advice or information on today's topic, the Retirement Toolkit is available on our website, rfsadvice.com, and there's a lot of information in there, but I don't know what happened to Colin. Obviously got held up, but that's okay. But thank you, Troy.
Thank you for that. And any tips or any other ideas you've got, jump on our website. We'd love some feedback as well, and we'd love some more little sayings like that our clients have sent in. We'd really appreciate it.
Absolutely.